Hello and namaskar. Welcome to IIPA. I'm Rakhee Bakshee. In this show, we talk to some celebrated individuals and the show is titled Stalwarts Speak. So welcome once again as we are talking to another very esteemed guest with us. She's a Padmavibhushan, she's a Rajya Sabha MP, she's a celebrated dance exponent and a great individual in her own right. We are talking to Dr. Sonal Mansingh. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you.
So we are also talking at a time when we are celebrating 75 years of India's independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and it's a great time to be in. But your thoughts, ma'am?
Well, I'm very glad that I was born when I was born so that I could enjoy and be proud of 75 years of India's independence. Suppose I'd been born earlier, then I wouldn't be alive at this time. So as simple as that. It's a very significant occasion, and I must thank Prime Minister Modi to have thought about this, because years come and go. Everyone says, oh, time is flying, we were there in 1947 and then 90 this and 90 that, and then 2000 came and 2022. What happened? India as a political entity and as a nation emerged firmly and strongly in 1947. 75 years of that entity, that existence, that glorious time where India has made a mark worldwide. It's a global existence, it's a global asmita, identity that no one can ignore. In fact, now people are recognizing again India as something, a grand vision from where they can derive so much inspiration. I think it's fantastic.
So talking about, as you rightly said, the glory, the history, the cultural ethos of our country, you've also been nominated by Honorable Prime Minister as the Swachhata Mission Ambassador. How would you really look at the country now, taking step forward, as you said, globally making a mark, also at its own progress?
First, let me just add one thing, that I'm very proud and I feel also humbled for being nominated as a classical dancer, a cultural personality to Rajya Sabha by the Prime Minister, actually by the President, on advice of the Prime Minister. Almost 30 years and more after Pandit Ravi Shankar. Because from other fields or from films and sports and other things, people have come. But this is very special, and that to a dancer. So at one stroke, I think the message went that culture is very important. It has to be respected, preserved, and taught. And in the new education policy, as we see, this has been assimilated. Now, coming to Swachhata Mission. How does one think about that? You tell me. We take so many things for granted in our daily life. कपड़े धोने हैं, नहाना है, दांत साफ करना है, कूड़ा वाला कूड़ा ले जाएगा. Nothing more than that. And as you and I know, that we have seen so many times people just throwing things here and there, and the civic sense of creating a clean ambience somehow was missing, unfortunately. Of course, there are so many kinds of people and so many cultural strata and all that. But when the Prime Minister of India, as he always said, of 130 crores, stands on the ramparts of Red Fort, Lal Kile pe khade hoke, कहते हैं, Swachhata, that is godly. And he talks also about, but in detail, about this, that and other things, about women, about their menstrual periods, about providing them with sanitary pads. I mean, my God, whoever has spoken like that? And Swachhata Mission, I remember, is the first time ever that in independent India one heard that word, that expression. So when I was nominated, I was so happy. Because through my choreographies, my dance, my thinking, my interviews, my writing, it has always been an integral part. For example, it's not only Swachhata in our daily lives, where I have always said 3 were, Hindi, Sanskrit ka were, which are thought, Vani. It's reflected in how you speak, what you speak, and Vihavar, interaction with people. So that has been my motto. Coming to my work, for example, the story, my favorite, Krishna cleaning up Yamuna, the pollution in Yamuna, where the cobra, Kaliya, has spread poison, people were dying, birds and everything was...
Beautiful narration, yeah.
Then Krishna battles with that pollution, subjugates it, and asks the pollution to go away far where it cannot hurt anyone rather than killing it. So this is an example that, we have, of course, but my choreography on that, which is, by the way, going to be presented.
In fact, I'm just going to talk to you about that, because I think the forthcoming event we were just discussing also is about women empowerment, about expression in a very powerful manner, and of course, as you rightly said.
Yeah. I just finished that because this Krishna Kaliya is not going to be presented in that. This is for International Literature Festival.
Another one.
Another one. Okay. The event that you mentioned. So the Swachhata thing can come in many, many ways. Now that you have mentioned women empowerment, very close to my heart. It's my dearest subject, topic, theme, and
the force, the power.
Somehow, even in developed countries, quote unquote,
True.
Women suffer every day. And in many countries, there has not been a woman, even in the United States of America, a woman at the topmost post. For the first time, a vice president has come, but never a president. And very few women who have broken the glass ceiling, as they say, of great companies and conglomerates and all that. India, on the other hand, has always, I wouldn't say worshipped only, worshipped the concept of the Shakti, energy. That energy which pervades the universe, the cosmos, which is the creative energy which creates life, maintains and nourishes life. Look at the concept of motherhood. I challenge any man by any scientific miracle.
I know where you're getting at.
They won't be able to.
Yeah, so the creation part, as you said.
The creation part. And then she can be strong, the Atma Bal, what we say, the strength of the inner strength of the soul, of the spirit. At the same time, be so giving, so tender, so sweet, so forbearing, so tolerant. Where in the world do you find this kind of combination? So in a lot of even the Arabic and a lot of other languages, the proverbs say that God created woman and then repented because people forgot God and people worshipped woman.
And you're going to actually give that more opportunity and chance for others to see in a forthcoming event.
Yes. This is again, Rakhee, a very unusual concept that I have picked up, because when you say Virangana, the title of my whole production is Nritya Virangana. Virangana are the brave warriors. But these are not the warriors with swords and shield. We have many of them. So many of them have been celebrated, like Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi and Rani Kittur Chennamma and so many. Arts has been neglected. People think that arts, dance, music is only, No. It has a lot of power, a lot of communicative power. And what it says stays in your heart because it's so beautifully given.
Registers.
And And so these 4 women, beginning from the late 18th century to 19th to 20th, belonging to Tanjore, to Kerala, to North India, and Chennai, Madras. What these women did, they stood up against the orthodoxy of the society, the man-made rules and regulations, and through their art, through the conviction and the courage, they broke those rules. And because of them today, we are able to dance, we are able to perform, we are able to sing, we are able to openly propagate our art.
So it's
culture.
also kind of salute the gratitude to so many women through them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But then Rakhee ji has said that it's for the first time perhaps that this concept is being presented in 75 years. So I have given it as my tribute for the ACAM, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
You know, another thing I wanted to talk to you about, ma'am, is we have just been through, in fact, pandemic is not literally over. It's still there. People are still suffering in some parts. But how do we see it? I mean, a lot of learning, a lot of insights also. We've seen the pain, but we've seen opportunities and a fresh look at how we deal with crises.
Absolutely correct. Pandemic, as you said, was a great lesson. Things don't happen according to your plans. Nature has other plans. And when man-made problems go overboard, nature takes over. Thappad. Thappad. सीधे रहो. लेकिन those who create such problems, they suffer the most as we are watching. It, as you said, gave great opportunity to people for a fresh look at their lives, being with family, thinking of new ways to entertain oneself because you couldn't go out, there were lockdowns. Thinking of how to progress in your work or find a new way, find something new. So the startups and the skill development. So many new games that people had forgotten, जो घर में बैठ के खेलते थे, वो सब आ गई वापस. I gave a series of 27 talks beginning from 29th May. Because if you remember, in 2020, the first lockdown was declared on 25th March. Hi Toba mach gayi, kya karen. Nobody knew how long it would last. But lockdown was lockdown. Nothing.
Complete shutdown, yeah.
And somebody just said, okay, Sonal ji, you've been talking so much and all, this is the time you should be. I said, okay. So 29 talks. Every alternate day, Monday morning 11, Wednesday morning 11, Friday morning 11, on different topics, like Jeevan Ki Sugandh, the fragrance of life, in which my family, my gurus, then there was one about Hasya, how you, through the proverbs, what do they say? And there is so much mirth and joy in these. We don't talk, कहावतें, मुहावरे, भूल गए, मुहावरेदार जो भाषा कितना कुछ कहती है.
So more conversations and dialogue also started.
Yes, and about food. What is so special about Indian food? And people would get ready at 10:45 and sit
for their work from home.
And people have saved them. So like that it went on, and I hope that people will remember the lesson. The lessons learned.
Also, yeah.
अभी फिर से सब शुरू हो गया है ना, उथल-पुथल and all that. But I think we need to brush our memory again and again, to revisit, to renegotiate life accordingly.
Because in your own journey also, ma'am, one has watched that, there have been many layers, I would say. I mean, to define it in an interview or narrate it is difficult. But to sum it all up, how would you really look at it? Dance has been a major part.
Yes.
But now you're in public life. So to sum it up all, and you've gone through, I mean, there was an episode where the health crisis happened. There was a complete fracture, and you went through that phase and you came out. So I think motivation, inspiration, the zeal to look at life and deal with it, and also spread the message to others to do things positively. How do you really look at it, ma'am?
I think, Rakhee ji, the main motivation is the belief that each person has been given a mission in life. We are not here just to eat, drink, and be merry. If you recognize that mission, then you have seen the path. I early on, by mass grace, recognized that I loved dance to distraction, along with the academics and everything. And when the deciding moment came, after my BA with German Literature Honours in Bombay University, Elphinstone College. Till then I pursued dance along with my studies and, done my Rangetram in 1961. This was 1963 when I did my senior BA finished. And that was the deciding moment when family said, do this, do that. Wonderful proposals coming, IAS, IFS, law, falana dhimka. I said, no. And they said, what do you want to do? And a voice from here, from the guts, as we say, आत्मा की आवाज़, वो कैसे निकलती है पता नहीं, कौन बोला पता नहीं, लेकिन मेरे मुंह से निकले वो शब्द, those words. I still remember just saying in Gujarati, I want to dance only, which means not also. ये भी करो, वो भी करो, कर लो. No. There was total silence. You could have cut it with a knife.
So is there a message also for a lot of youngsters who also watch us, is that how to make discipline a very crucial part of your life, management of it all, the time, and how to, have focus and concentration? Because, we also talk to a lot of aspiring UPSC students of public administration, and there is a message there.
Yeah, focus can only come, I suppose, when, as I said, that you recognize something within you, something that needs expression, something that is jumping to come out. You are propelled to do it. So that passion, I think, in life is very, very important. And without passion, तो ठीक है ना, ये भी है, वो भी है, ये भी है, वो भी है, ठीक है, करते करते जिंदगी बीत गई.
So talking about public administration and on the platform of IIPA, I must ask that collectively, how can we really look at coming together to build a nation towards progress and prosperity? बहुत डिफिकल्ट है इसको सबअप करना, लेकिन वो क्या की पॉइंट्स, हमने सिटीजन सेंट्रिक गवर्नेंस की बात हो रही है, लोगों के साथ मिलकर भागीदारी कैसे हो, all that is being now discussed.
I think the sutra given by Prime Minister Modi sums it all up. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. Each one has to put in one's best effort. सरकार करेगी, ये करेंगे, वो करेंगे. अरे भाई तुम क्या कर रहे हो? So asking that question not once but almost every day. Am I a little bit til bhar? Have I gone forward somewhere? Have I improved? Have I thought of something? Have I done something? This self-analysis, I feel, Rakhee ji, is missing generally. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do it, but what I see. They're very happy to be in a comfort zone. And the comfort zone can be very attractive. It just, sucks you. But to break that. And my, I don't know how it happened, but the way I have grown is through challenging myself. Okay, 2 months ago, my Kala Yatra Mahotsav was a huge success. Now what? Iske baad, now what? Now what? Am I able to, and creativity should never, whatever you do, public administration also is a very creative field. How you interpret your work, your rules, your regulations, the format, the system, and
In
how
fact,
you can reach out.
There's a term now, Mission Karmyogi, given by Honorable Prime Minister. So this is a mission now to look at governance, to help people, to offer service.
And that you can see the difference now. In the 8th year of this government, one sees a lot of difference, whether you like the people or not. That's immaterial. How many schemes of public welfare? How many startups and encouragement to skill development, from the smallest mini to mega? How many roads and water and electricity? How many loans? How much this Mudra Yojana, Bima Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana? What? I mean, it was an avalanche of yojanas, of schemes, but schemes were not only on paper. They were activated. The schemes reached out to the last person, as they say, Antyodaya. अंत में जो खड़ा है या खड़ी हैं, उनके तक ये जाना चाहिए लाभ.
जी. We're also talking about Vision India in 2047. That's one of the themes being discussed. Looking at 100 years, I mean, from India's independence here. So how would you, any futuristic idea that you, with the creative energy that you have, would you like to offer here? One is looking at new technology, one is looking at more digital interventions coming in, which supports us. So what would modern India after few years would be like? Your vision, I mean, and as you said, the cultural power, the soft power.
Rakhee ji, I will disagree with you on this concept. It's strong power. Why? As I said earlier, it seeps into your heart and therefore in the mind. How people remember, oh, we saw you, your performance, we still remember what you said or what you danced 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 30 years ago, in impossible places. Why did they remember? Why do people remember Draupadi's questions to Kuru Sabha? What is dharma? Dharma kya hai? Niti kya hai? Satya kya hai? Till today they have not been answered. But in some measure, if we translate dharma not as religion, this is not the religion के लिए कोई हमारे पास शब्द ही नहीं है, हमारी भाषा में, हमारे विचार में, हमारे परंपरा में. So how do you translate dharma? So dharma is that what you said. How you benefit your people, how your nation as a nation rises and rises and rises. All these schemes and all the areas, all the dimension and aspects which were not hitherto visited, they are being visited. So in 2047, on one hand, of course, as you said, digital India, the world is going through this revolution. In Japan, they've made many more strides. I hope robots don't begin to dance, because then what will the dancers do? I'm just being
no, because that leads me to another question, is that one is also talking about this whole ethos of believing now in our ancient culture tradition, like yoga, meditation, how the well-being is being looked at in a very holistic manner.
International Day of Yoga is just coming, and how India has given this fantastic gift to the world. It's not to say that there were individuals who are, doing yoga here and there and abroad, and the breakfast yoga and the brief yoga and the power yoga and all that kind of a thing. But yoga as yoga, what is that? That message has now gone around the world. So such gifts are there, but as I said, that a perfect balance between machine and man. I see 2047 in that state.
Your thoughts about India and being a proud citizen, because your social consciousness is also known. You do so much, which actually looks like a service to the mankind through expression of culture, through so many other ways, the community work.
Wow. You've given me so many beautiful compliments. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I get very emotional. Why? I think I need at least 7 more births to understand. ये मिट्टी क्या है, ये भूमि क्या है, ये देश क्या है. I am absolutely no words.
Have some water.
Sorry.
I think what's important is to understand that as a human being, ma'am, you've come out with the best of capabilities that you offer to others. And we appreciate your emotion and this whole emotional attachment to the nation that we all belong to.
मैं तो इतना ही कहूँगी that every nation is wonderful, I'm sure. Every person is very proud of their country. As far as I'm concerned, I've traveled to 90 countries in the world, and in many countries more than 4, 5, 10 times. But I'm not being chauvinistic, I'm not being parochial, I'm not being anything. I can just say that what India has is something mystical, something mysterious. You cannot explain in words. Ke hai kya? Why so many religions are nourished here? Why so many great avatars, incarnations, so many great men and women? How this Sanatan Parampara, the tradition of great concepts, of abstract concepts. On one hand, abstraction. Brahman kya hai? Brahman. The cosmos. How did it come into being? Well, what is that energy, that superpower, where thousands and millions of such solar systems are there floating in space? And the space, no scientist has been able to define where it begins and where it ends. But with that abstraction, we are given wonderful shloks and wonderful ideas. Ke ye anadi, without beginning. Akhanda, you cannot break space. Achheda, you cannot put holes. Abheda, you cannot make bheda there, diversify. All these epithets give you the idea, who am I? मैं क्या हूँ क्या? इतने बड़े स्पेस में, इतनी हजारों लाखों सोलर सिस्टम्स में, in one solar system, in the one little, the smallest planet, Earth, in one country, in one city, in one little corner, and we are so eloquent about everything.
So I think.
But then, Rakhee ji, sorry. So with that, as I said, the mini. And then the mega, that through my mind, through my ideas, through my understanding, I can reach out there. So yatha pinde tatha brahmande. How true it is.
I think you've encapsulated the power of the individual, the soul that blooms and blossoms. Of course, your own journey has been very inspiring to have known earlier also. Now in this interview, ma'am, we wish you all the very best for future and all your endeavors.
Thank you
for talking to IIPA's interview here.
Thank you so much.
And that was Dr. Sonal Mansingh for you, the one that you just saw in her very passionate, original form, and so much to learn from her own life, I think, and so much of message that is all out there for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this interview as much as I did when I interviewed her. Thank you so much once again, and namaskar.